let's make a start. We're gonna finish off the question for 6.3, wrap up with the exercises, and then we're gonna move over to SPA. All right, so our first question, anybody that did the homework, so we're not gonna waste time and go one by one. Um, what do most web building applications require before you create a website? What do they require? Anyone?
Sir, they require you to register with an email.
Right? So you need an email, email and password. Anyone else? Right. That's basically it. You need an email and password in order to register to create a website. So I would have mentioned that if you guys are going to need to work as a group, you're going to need to create maybe a standard email and password so that you can share among your group so other persons can log in and access your web page. But be careful you don't share it with the wrong person. List some of the features that are available for creating a website. I guess this would have been a tricky question for those who were looking at it.
So it's like what you using to build a website, like Wix.com.
But yeah, so you're using Wix.com, but what are some of the features you have when it comes to creating the website? So
Sir,
tool. Yeah, go ahead.
get like a layout. Get different layouts to choose from.
Good. Good answer.
Templates. There's
Mm-hmm. You have different layouts, different templates. What else? What other features are available to you?
you can like insert images,
Good.
edit text,
Good.
insert in hyperlinks, like
Good. Changing the background, changing the color, changing the font, changing the type. Remember that's all. Remember the website is mainly used for content, whatever you're gonna add to it. So you can have different features that you can design the website with. Different texts, different font sizes, colors, shapes, boxes, um, tools like the Google Map option that you can add in, the navigation bar, the other locations on the page, and with the other features and so on. Good. So those are available to you. Explain why you should test your website before publishing. Why should you?
Sir,
you
to
need
ensure everything is functioning properly.
Good.
you need to ensure it is user friendly.
Good. I like that one. So everything is working properly. Everything like what? What are some of the things we need to ensure are working properly?
Hyperlinks,
Good. Hyperlink is one. Anybody else?
Ensure that the videos and audios they play and you can hear them.
Good. Good. Hyperlinks working. Your videos are working. They're playing. You're hearing audio. What else? Anything else we should check?
If the email is valid.
Good. Very good. If the email is valid, if the email is the correct email,
Sir, the bookmark.
if the bookmarks are working, good. So basically, you ensure everything is working before you publish your website. So what is that feature? What's the name of that feature where you test your website?
there's like a preview option.
Preview. Good. Kafensi, I think you joined with the wrong account. Hopefully that's Kafensi. I think it's him. Wrong if you join with the wrong name, then you're basically absent, whoever does join with those characters. Alright, so next question, describe 3 checks to test the website. Well, basically we just talked about it, checking the hyperlink, checking the audio and video if it's working, check if your email is working, and those kind of things. And there's a main thing you should check for. It starts with O.
Orphan pages, sir.
Orphan pages, good, that's correct. You should check to see if you have any orphan pages. You should not have orphan pages. Those are bad. We do not like orphans. So, question number 5. What is the name of the web page that contains no links back to the previous page or to the home page?
Orphan page.
That is the orphan page, correct. So, ensure your website does not have one. Alright, so that brings us to the end of content for web page design. So there wasn't a lot of content, so please ensure you remember them. You look over them, ensure that it's basically a lot of rules, principles that you should follow when it comes to creating web pages that you're going to be tested on, those principles and so on. So what is HTML? What is the categories of websites? What are the different types of websites? How do you plan for your website? Those are things you need to remember. What is the layout of a web page? What is the generic layout? Header, footer, left and right sidebar. What is the content area? You have to know what information goes in all of those sections. When you're designing your content, you need to sketch a plan of your website. They actually ask you to do this in one of your paper 2 question. Sketch a layout of a website. So this is going to be your layout of your pages. How to choose appropriate backgrounds, themes, images, creating your bookmarks. Please remember this entire chapter, this entire exercise 1 to 7, very important for you to remember for your exam. You will be tested on how to create bookmarks, hyperlinks in Word. They will test you on that. So ensure you remember how those features work. And then we concluded with the website builder. So this chapter was about the website builder. We register with the email, we choose a template, we follow the instructions, we can even do a tutorial, and they tell us how to use the different features and options and so on. And it makes it easier for us to create our website. So these were the features: changing font type, font size, text alignment, adding graphics, video, image, background color, being able to use Google Maps, a contact form, subscription page. Those are all features available to you and more with website builders. Alright, so now we're going to look at, so we already looked at how to develop a website using Word. That was covered in this chapter here with these exercises. We looked at some, I showed you guys how to use the website builder. So it's just for you to basically play around with the interface to know how you can add different options and features and so on. So now we're going to look at basically the more technical aspect of creating a website, HTML. Now I'm actually going to do this because it's going to be a bit technical, as mentioned. So exercise 8, creating a static web page. Anybody want to tell me why it has static here?
Yeah, because there's only one page.
Not necessarily.
So the page ain't changing.
Exactly. It goes with the name. Static means it's going to stay one way. So this web page that we're going to be creating, it's not going to be updating or changing or so on by the user, not the developer. Yes, the developer ourselves, we can make changes to it, but the users, they would not be able to make any change. So that way it is static. So locate and open a notepad. So I'm going to use notepad, not plus plus. I'm going to use the regular notepad. And note that writing HTML code is not required in the syllabus, but this exercise demonstrates how it works. So type the following accurately. HTML. So this is the HTML tag. This is basically telling the file that it is a HTML web page file. So the next tag we have head. Zoom in. The next tag we have head. This is called the header tag. Whatever goes in here is going to go in the header section of our web page. And the title, this here is a title tag. So this is giving us a title for our web page. The title goes here. Now, if you notice, when it comes to tags, we have what is called an opening tag and a closing tag. So it's like in spreadsheet where you are using brackets. Think of these as brackets. You have an opening bracket and you have a closing bracket. But instead you have an opening tag and a closing tag. Remember, this language HTML is called a markup language. You put your content and you basically need to mark it, or you need to format it. You need to tell the system how to present the information, how to present the content. And the tags tell the HTML, tell the browser how to present the information. So in this case here, our content is a title goes here. And surrounding it with the title tag is basically going to tell the system that, look, this is going to go into the title of my web page. So we're going to do it one by one. I'm going to close the HTML. So I first have to close head. So this here is to close head, and this here is to close the HTML. So I'm just going to go up to there for now. So notice when I save, it actually asking me to save as. Normally it would have, but yeah, it's a new file. So we need to save it as a .html. So I could have done that in the beginning, or I can do that now. So new web page .html. So notice it's not giving me that save type option. So I'm going to need to type it in. Hopefully it works. Save. And let me look for the file. Desktop, new folder. Okay, it worked. So notice it's saved as a .html. So when I double click on it, it opened the web page here. So I'm going to double click on it again, and notice it opened another tab. So notice that title. Notice where is the title? A title goes here. So that's what is showing up at the top in the tab. So that title tab, that title tag, TAG, appears in the tab, TAB. So if we go back here and we delete this here, this is my title, and we save and we refresh. Notice the update. This is my title. So when we put in this title tag, this is where it appears. And let me see if I just happened. Oh, I undo. Alright, never mind that. let me remove this here, put that to the top there and see what happens. So it's still going to work, the title tag, it's still going to work, because remember, if we look back at our header, footer, and so on, this layout here, header, footer, and so on, header is going to be the top, but the title tag refers to this title here at the top. So it doesn't matter where basically you put it, it's going to refer at the top here. But just that when you are creating when you're doing HTML, you basically want order. You want your information to be organized. So you put it in a specific order that would basically make sense. That would follow top to bottom basically. Just like how you would design your page. What is at the top, you put at the top. What should go at the bottom should be more at the bottom of your HTML. So basically that way you organize the content and you're able to follow. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to move over now to Notepad++, so that we can get a better look at the HTML. So notice the difference here. It's a lot easier to work with Notepad++ because you can see the tags. If you click on the opening tag, it's going to show you the closing tag, so that you can easily follow the HTML codes. So we have our HTML tag, we have our header tag, we have our title tag. Are you guys following up to that point?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Anybody confused? No confused soul? Alright, let's continue. So where are we? Good. So we've entered our title. Now we're going to enter our body. So after the title, so what we also like to do is indent. So if we indent the information, that's going to make it a little more easier to read. And then put some spaces also. So we're going to go to our body tag now. So arrow body BG color. What does that sound like? BG color.
Your background color.
Right. So that's going to be background color. Some of the tags are actually straightforward. They tell you exactly what they're doing. White, so we want white, and the text should be blue. Now notice this tag here, this body background color, it doesn't have an opening and closing tag. It's basically one tag. So not all tags require an opening and closing. This one only requires one. So for example, HTML, head, title, they require opening and close. But this body background color and text, it does not require opening and close. Alright, so next we have H1. Anybody remembers H1, or did I ever mention what is H1? So H1 refers to header. So this is going to be header 1. And I'm going to close that also. So I'm going to copy this here, because I want to replicate it. And I'm going to show you the different. So H2, H2, H3, H4, H5, H6, Is there H7? Okay, there's no H7. So H6 is the last one. So we need to close the body tag now. So close body, and we have our closing HTML there. So that's basically the tags there that they gave us to use. So I'm going to save this now, and I'm going to go back to my browser and refresh. So I have my information here. So background color of white. So if I change background color to red and refresh, red background color, text to white, save, refresh, we have those changes here. And notice the different headers. So just in a document, how you're going to have different headers and a paragraph below it. So these are the different sizes of headers you can have. So if H1 refers to header 1, anybody want to make a guess what they think paragraph is going to be? The paragraph tag?
T1.
T1?
T.
T or P?
P.
Yes, P. But it actually won't use a 1 after it. It's just going to be a P. So P, that's a P because the 1 is actually differentiating the different sizes. Because remember, headers would have different sizes. But paragraph is basically just a paragraph where you're just typing in information. So I think I'm typing that wrong. Because if you notice, hopefully I'm not typing it wrong. Paragraph 1. Well, we're gonna know if we close it and work, but yeah, I think that's correct. So that's the paragraph tag there. So save. Okay, it's already saved. Refresh. Paragraph 1. So if I do paragraph 2 also, another paragraph, P paragraph 2, and close that tag, and save and refresh, same size. So with this now, what you can do, there's additional tags now. So if you want to resize the paragraph text, there's additional tags you would go and do research so that you can change the size and so on. So but that's basically it, because we don't need to go that much into detail when it comes to using HTML. This is your header tag for the top section of your document. This is the body. So for instance, let's see, if I put H, let me try, if I take this here, I'm going to delete that, not delete it, I'm going to just move it to the bottom. So we have it at the bottom there. So remember, this is the header tag. The header tag is at the top there. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to remove this H6 and put it in the header, and we're going to see what happens. So nothing happened. Header, body. So it's still following that pattern. Let's see. Remove this here. Put that there. Let's see if it makes a change. Okay, that's swapped here. So I guess it's not. It's. The header is supposed to be at the top of the document. I wonder if it did something. Let's see. This is the body tag. This is the header tag. We're supposed to move up the information into the header, but I guess it still needs to be at the top even though it's the header. I guess it's not, it's more of like a documentation header and not a physical location header, if you guys understand what I'm trying to say. It's not a physical location at the top of the document, it's just for you to know that whatever's in the header, that's the what you're gonna put at the top of your web page, and whatever's in the body is going to appear more lower down, but still in that organized manner. Whatever's at the top comes down. That's how it's going to appear on your web page. Alright, so that's your header tag, that's your title tag, your body tag, your paragraph tag. If you want to add an image, I think it's img. It's a bit of a lengthy tag. HTML image tag. Image source src equal the name of the file. So this is where your folder is going to come into play. So in here I'm going to need an image, picture. So let's use this image here and go back to our folder. So we're going to give it a simple name, so image1. So it's going to be easy to reference. Equal the name of the file, so that's going to be image1.jpg, the file format, and we close that bracket there, quotation mark, and hopefully this works. Refresh. So we have our image here, but it didn't recognize. Let me see. imeg1.jpg. Let's try this method. I think that's gonna work. Not quite sure why the image didn't show up, but that's basically how you would use the image tag. But as mentioned already, all of these HTML, it's not important for your syllabus, but it's still good to know how the tags function, how the tags operate, and so on. So the main things to remember is that the HTML tag, that is what basically is used to indicate that it's an HTML file. The header tag is indicating what is in the top of your document, the top of the web page. The title tag is for the title on the tab of your web page, of your browser. We have the body tag, which is comparative to the header tag, which indicates the body of your web page, and whatever is in this body, that's the additional information you're going to add. So H1 to H6, those are for headers. P is for paragraph. Image src IMG SRC, that is for image. I'm going to,
Sir, but like, why don't close like the image? Like, how do I say like,
yes, I think maybe that's why it didn't work. Very good. I'm very glad you picked that up. So that's could be why it didn't work. Let me try it again now. No, it still didn't work. Let's see.
see if it's safe?
It is saved. Let's see. It's a self-close tag. So these tags here, we call them self-close because they don't require another closing tag. I'm wondering if it's because I didn't put the size. Let me see if it needs a size. I should have used the default size, but let's just see. Okay, so notice the window showing up here of the size that I just put in, but it's still not recognizing it. Image source picture, the file name. It's correct, but it could be because it's not seeing that folder, and I'm wondering if it's because the folder doesn't have the same name, but that shouldn't be the case. Let's see that. Nope, nothing. We close it entirely. No, still not working. It's just that it's not seeing the location. There's quite a few things we can do, but that's more technical aspect of it. That's why I'm not getting in too much into it. That's more technical. So, and as mentioned, you guys don't really need to know all of that. But if you want to go into it, you could do your more research as to why it's not working. But basically, what's happening is not seeing that that file there. Image source equal 1.jpg. Yeah, I'm not sure what's happening. Alright, let's continue the exercise. Any questions on it before we move on though? Any questions with any of the tags? Were you guys following or did I confuse you?
Sir, I was following.
I was following.
Okay, a few of you were following. Okay, good. So I hope the rest of you understand how HTML basically works. You put the content and you basically format the content with instructions around it. So basically, if you wanted to change the text size, the color, and so on, you would follow like similar patterns. You would need to know how to structure the tag. So it's just a requirement of a little research to do that. Alright, so it says save the file as my page HTML. You can save it as on the desktop, but make sure to note exactly where you save the file to minimize this window. Browse to locate the HTML file, double click on it, and it's going to open inside of the browser. Maximize the HTML file and change the blue in text to green. Well, we already saw that when we changed the colors. The background and text color changed. Now maximize the browser, refresh, and we're going to see the change in color. Try changing the color to different colors and refresh, and we can see those changes there. Practical exercising using an online web builder. Use a free web builder to create a web page. Select one of the recommended free websites, builders, and so on. Using a web builder to create a website. Alright, here's what. I'm going to give you guys this as your homework. Each one of you, I'm going to create an assignment for this here, for this exercise. So this is I'm gonna give this as one of your coursework assignment. You're going to create a web page or a website. How many ever pages? I'm going to give some instructions. I might give the same instructions here, but I'm going to review it to see if I need to add any additional details. And each one of you are going to create your own website using a website builder of your choice as an assignment. Alright, so that wraps up our exercises there. Let's see. Give that an assignment. Alright. Any questions before we move on to the SBA?
No, sir.
Alright, just give me a second. Let me find the file. Resources, IT. Where's the SBA? IT SBA extract. Alright, good. So, I don't think the instructions were that. So this is your SBA. Where's the? Okay, that's spreadsheet. So that's database. Word processing, web page. Good. So if you notice how short web page is, this is basically all the instructions for. Where's it from? This is basically all the instructions that they gave you here. Programming starts there. So Webpage Design, the Trinbarijam Elections Commission has requested that you design a web page to provide the public with general information about the election. The web page should include the following. So notice the commission's logo, so that logo that you use, a standard logo that you use in all your word processing documents. You're going to put that on your web page with the entire header. All of the header, all the additional information, the business name, if you have a slogan, if basically the header information that we would have covered in this chapter here, those header information, ensure you put that in your header for your SBA. Display information about the elections, for example, total votes received by each party, number of votes cast in each constituency. So you're not limited to those information. You put information about the elections on your websites. So, but ensure it's not just a copy and paste, you crop it out and you put it and you paste it onto the website. You have to put it in a way that it would be presentable. So when you're doing this part here, please make a copy of your spreadsheet. Do not mess up your original. Make a copy of your spreadsheet and do any additional formatting to it in the spreadsheet. So in the spreadsheet, maybe you can add some border colors or some shadings and something to nice up the tables. So that way now when you put it into your website, it is more presentable. But obviously you have to design it in such a way it matches the overall theme of your website. So ensure you put information about the elections. You need a link to your email address. So you either make up an address, email address, or you use your own, doesn't matter. Once we can click on it and it takes us to email address, you get your mark there. A web page which displays past elections results. This web page may or may not exist. So basically what they're asking here is just for you to create a link to another page. So that's why they say the page may or may not exist, because all they're looking for basically is for you to click on a link and it takes you to another page. But you guys will create that additional page, because as I told you already, they're only looking at this one page, but you can have additional pages. But just that they're only going to grade this one page for your SBA score. So you're going to create that additional page with the past elections data, and so that when they click on it, you're going to take them over to the other page of your website. All right, questions? Any questions? So it's simple, right? It sounds simple. Simple web page, or not so simple? No comments?
Ish. Simple. Like mid.
So remember, you're using your website builder. Ensure you have all of these details there. Let me open the mark scheme and see what are the requirements. So I think this is short also. The mark scheme here is short. So to get your marks, I don't know what is the to get your marks for Webpage Design, first section 3 marks. Include graphics. Now notice your requirements did not mention some of these requirements. Your SBA did not mention some of these requirements, just like your word processing. That's why you needed to look at the mark scheme. So ensure you put graphics, ensure you put text in order to get your 1 mark. Appropriate use of text, appropriate use of graphics. Ensure you put it in the right location, you designed it well, and you are going to get your other 2 marks. Remember, we're looking for overall neat professional design. If your text is not readable, if it's not clear, if I gotta be struggling to understand what it is, if your colors aren't matching, you're not gonna be getting any mark. So ensure you look at your design. Web page, it's intended for intended audience. The layout is suitable for the audience. So remember, this relates back to the purpose of your website. What are you creating for? Is the layout suitable for who you are creating the website for? Is it mostly suitable? You're gonna get your marks there. So you need to think about who you are designing it for and how to structure the layout of the content, so that basically remember what is more important from what is less important, what you want persons to look at, things like that you need to think about. Consistent information on the page, specific requirements, a majority of information consistent. So basically, if you are following the requirements, you get the 3 marks there. And hyperlinks, they're basically only asking for 2, but ensure you put all of them. So I'm going to basically mark for email and user created file. So that form that you created in Word, you're actually going to be adding it to your website. So basically, what's going to happen is that on the website, you could have like a section on the web page. You have a section whereby you're telling persons that if they want to apply for the elections, they would have to fill out this form. But you got to add more details, more instructions, you're going to nice it up and so on. But that's the general idea. You're adding this file to your website. You're giving them details about the file, what the file is about, so that when they click on it, they download it, they see it's a form, and they can basically apply for the elections. So that's the purpose of the form. It was to apply for the elections, put in their personal information. So ensure that your website, it has links to other pages, because obviously you will have other pages, so ensure you have that. And ensure you have remember, it's only one page, so it's going to be good if you put navigational links that navigate you on the same page. I'm not sure if anybody could remember, but when we were looking at that Wix site, it had some links that were taking us to other pages below. I think it was this one here. What is it here? I want to edit. Edit. This is going to take a while. Preview. Good. So this one here, I think it was, yeah, see how this when you click on those links, it wasn't taking us to another page, it was taking us down to another location on the same page. So because your web page is basically going to be like that, all the content on one page, you should create navigational links that take you to those different locations on your page. So ensure you have all of these requirements, but basically remember, I'm going to mostly look for email, or should I look for location? Basically I need to set a standard of what I'm looking for, but I'm going to look for this user created file. I'm going to decide between either one of these two to locate, but remember you're doing all, so that shouldn't affect you. But either one of these two I'm going to mark for, because it's only 2 marks. So only 2 I need to choose from to give you that 2 marks. So once you have all, you have nothing to worry about for those marks there. Alright, any questions? Alright, no questions. So let's see, when is our next class? I think it's Friday. Alright. You guys think 2 days, basically 2.5, because tomorrow you don't have school. You guys think you can finish off this assignment by Friday? Or that's too short?
So remember, you gotta go through it and put in stuff.
Yeah, give me until Monday.
Yeah.
Because
Alright, I'll give you guys until next week Tuesday. So you got an entire week. That's enough?
Yes, sir.
Alright,
Yes,
so
sir.
I'll give you guys a week on that assignment. And so basically you guys, so you can practice with your assignments. On each of you can practice individually using the website builder, because that's the purpose of the assignment, to get your practice with the website builder, so that when it comes time now for the SBA, when all of your members are going to come together and work on the SBA, work on the web page, you can contribute and say, this is how you do this is how you do that. Because remember, if one of your partner was doing something and he learned how to maybe add the file, or to add the link, or to how to change the colors and something, then they can contribute that to the website. So that's the purpose of the assignments, so that you basically don't have to mess up your SBA file. So be like a trial run. So work on that for your assignment, and then you can start working on your SP. All right. Any other questions? Any other concerns? Anything we need to clarify before we end? Remember to put in all of the skills, all of the principles, all of the knowledge that you would have learned. So for your assignment, I'm going to try to finish off the instructions today. So remember to put this into practice. The steps that you're going to use to create your website, sketching, planning, and all of that. Put that into your development of your web page, because it's going to be personal to you. All of you are not going to develop the same web page, so ensure you put that, apply that into your assignment. All right, so I'm not hearing any questions, so we're gonna close off here for today. Enjoy the rest of your day.